Guess Einstein was wrong.
So, some important things to note. We lost someone back in the time stream. I can't seem to find Corey anywhere. He's just gone. And, we lost all our stuff. All of it. It's a good thing we found a use for that pipe before we came here. I don't know what we would do without that pipe.
Son of a...
Who's out there?
I get the feeling you're supposed to, like, carefully avoid these hands in this area, but you can just breeze right through it by running. This is also where the folks at Hoplite Research who did the port, this wonderful port we're playing, got really lazy and started to cut content everywhere.
Huh? Who's that? What the...
Though I suppose everything about this game's port in general was rather lazy. So this is an adventure game, but we can't grab the giant, really noticeable axe in the middle of the room. Instead we need to grab this shield off the wall, which of course will be used for a puzzle we won't see for a long time. So, you can't quite make it out very well in the PlayStation version, but one of those corpses up there is holding a key. I'm not sure if you can even see it at all, but we need to pull on this chain over here. The music's also very good. I like the music in this stage, it's very nice. So that makes no sense, but we saw the entire ceiling rumble when we came in here, so let's mess with these weak pillars in the back. Yeah, that's doing something. It's hard to tell when you're actually hitting the pillar. So that was a pretty neat puzzle. I like that one. They give you a visual indication of how to solve it when you enter the room during a cutscene. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty good puzzle. It does help if you actually use the key on the door. So like every other chapter in the game, what seems like a very large area at first is actually deceptively small. There are only about 7 rooms. The first thing we need to do is mess with these very obvious puzzle pillars in the center here for some sort of pushing puzzle. You won't know why, but you'll know why shortly. However, the way he pushes the pillars is very cumbersome, very slow. So I'm not going to make you watch it. I'm just not. So, as Hellboy pushes this last pillar into place, let's contemplate why exactly there were a dungeon and torture chamber in a monastery. I mean, this is the world of Hellboy, but surely there's a reason. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think every monastery has a dungeon. I don't think most monasteries come with dungeons. I could be wrong about that. It looked like those corpses had robes on as well, meaning they could be monks. So, to distract you from the fact that this is another completely silent room where you can hear my computer fan dying, there's some cut dialogue in here. The monks over there reading books only have about half the lines they did in the PC game. They still tell us the important stuff, but, you know, it's kind of let down.
The Inquisitor has been so elusive these past days, but I'm sure he will help us to drive this evil out.
So, there's someone called an Inquisitor. Maybe that green fellow we saw in the torture chamber, but we have no idea. History of Evil. Some of these books are quite entertaining to look at. I think I get all the good ones. Well, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you, please. please.
So even the head librarian succumbed to the evil. I suppose it's only us and the Inquisitor, then, who remain to stop this.
Yeah, in case you didn't notice, if their subtitles didn't trigger, they didn't bother to fix it. The War of Art. They don't bother to fix their subtitles when they don't trigger. This is a really bad port. Okay, so we're in here for a very short puzzle. You need to shove this bookshelf a tiny bit. Just a little, but it's for a very important cause. So, the evil has corrupted this place, just as Mitri warned us it had, but we haven't seen any of the evil yet. Perhaps the evil is what caused that green man to hang monks. We could assume that. Also, apparently the head librarian had succumbed to evil as well, though we don't know where he is either. At least there are people here to talk to. People who are not completely crazy and trying to kill us. In case you haven't figured it out yet, this big room right here acts as sort of a hub that leads you to all the other rooms. I'll be cutting out most of the travel between hubs after we open each door, and now we can use these stepping stones we so meticulously put into place, as Hellboy very meticulously climbs up them. I think this might be the animation with the least amount of clipping in the entire game. That's saying something. Though I guess it is also the most robotic animation as well. Right, so there's a lot of fighting. Not a lot, but enough that... Let's just say the fighting is really hard in this chapter. And because of that, there are a lot of health packets, luckily. You just have to know where you're looking. Let's make a dramatic entrance, or re-entrance, as it were. We landed as silently as a cat. There were more sounds in the PC version as well. You'll notice that the further we go into the game. That was the most silent jump ever as well. Alright, so we have a key. The key would take us to the head librarian, but we're not quite prepared to go there yet. We have, I believe, one other main door to visit before we're done with the hub area, and I can start skipping it. If things weren't as identical, I wouldn't get lost in here as much. Part of the reason I'm going to cut out the hub is because I got lost several times. One of the things I love most about this game is that intentionally dramatic pose with the pig when you first enter this area. Also, try not to strain your eyes as everything in this room jiggles and wiggles.
Oh, I'm starving. If you get me something to eat, I'll show you a secret.
This game uses the tactic of spreading some very simple puzzles across a variety of rooms to make the stage seem a lot longer than it is, which isn't very cheap, you know. When you're playing the game for the first time, it really is that large because you're trying to explore, but everything becomes smaller when you get better at it. This is the worst water I've ever seen. Look at it. That's not even... I couldn't even tell that was supposed to be water. Look at that. I can't even...
Yeah, piggy, piggy, piggy.
Right, so trying to comment on what just happened would completely take away from everything special about that situation. We have a key inside a box. Well, we already have the key to the head librarian, so this other key must go somewhere different. We still have next to no clue about what is actually going on here. We know that there's an evil. We don't know what the evil is, and we have yet to see this Inquisitor or the head librarian. Our first instinct would probably be to head toward the giant chapel, but of course that's locked, so we're going to just detour to the left toward this very uninteresting looking shack, because of course that's where the key goes. Hey, there's a health pickup. Of course.
Ah, crap.
Of course.
Oops, I think I broke their boiler. That thing's gonna overheat. I gotta get out of here before I'm cooked.
Hellboy doesn't seem to care very much about the situation in which he might die, and our health does consistently drain the longer this goes on. I can't seem to pick up this bucket. That's the real puzzle here, is which angle you need to approach this bucket from in order to pick it up. I need to think tactically. There we go. So you may have noticed all the special effects are just kind of comprised of various GIFs, various GIF images. So was that one. Looks really awful. So now that the room is cleared of steam, we can climb over... Oh, sorry. Let's get the health pack first. I forgot that was even there. Now that the room is cleared of steam, we can climb over this pipe that's blocking the exit, because that's how architecture should work. There's supposed to be a zombie you fight in this room, but that ended up being cut as well. Instead, we have this very important quest item right here.
That doesn't look comfortable.
This poor guy's head. It's gonna come in handy later. We'll just stuff that in our pocket. And hey, there's finally some music again. There's an oven in here which will be important later, believe it or not. But first we need to grab this bread off the counter. If I recall correctly, there was a starving kid who would need it. No dramatic pose with the pig this time, sadly. We just need to give this kid his bread. He promised us a secret.
Give me that. Yuck! That bread was stale, and I'm still hungry.
You know what, kid? No, you don't talk to Hellboy like that. You're not Gordon Ramsay. We're gonna grab this chicken and we're gonna show you how proper food is prepared. You'd be like, oh god. You know, maybe Hellboy missed his calling. Maybe Hellboy could be a master chef. Maybe none of this is actually necessary. He could have had a much lower stress job all this time.
Let's see how far along it is. Wow, that was quick.
Hellboy is such a professional that the chicken grew garnish on it while it was in the oven. I realize evil is plaguing this monastery, but this kid lives in a ranch. He should have found some way to get food for himself.
Give me that. Hooray! Now I'll show you that secret.
Is there actually a secret there? I'm sorry, it looks like he just pulled up the floor because the texturing is so incomprehensible. We have somewhere else to go first, anyway. And there's that green fellow we saw earlier in the torture chamber. Perhaps that is the Inquisitor. The monks don't have anything new to say on the subject, however, so we don't actually know. But we're gonna go find out. We could make the assumption that this must be the rest of the library, and thus where the head librarian resides.
Come a little closer. I can't see you very well. You can't come in here. You're not a monk. Come a little closer. I can't see you very well. Ah, Brother Sanchez, come in. You don't look well. Brother Sanchez, I'll be over here if you need assistance.
If you remember correctly, in the first chapter, one of the tombstones read, Brother Sanchez, his head was never found. Well, now we know where his head was. Before we go and bother the supposedly possessed head librarian, let's go up here and talk to this other monk and see what he has to say. Oh. Oh. Well, that doesn't seem right at all. Let's go ask the head librarian what that was about.
Wait, who are you? What have you done with Brother Sanchez?
Sorry, but I really needed to get in here.
You killed Brother Sanchez. The Inquisitor warned me about you. You're after the Knight's Sword, but I won't let you have it.
Hey, I don't want to hurt you. What the?
Whoa, wait. We don't even know anything about a Knight's Sword.
I don't like the looks of this. Keep running, monkey boy. Giant monkeys. What a pain. Yeah? Shut up.
Mitri didn't mention anything about a sword. We don't even know where Mitri is. What is going on? 25 meters, Hellboy. How high can you get? Oh, god damn it. While this is going on, seems like a good opportunity to point out that the architecture from the monastery to the asylum, while seemingly very different, has not actually changed all that much. If you pay close enough attention, they're very similar. You can't really stunlock this giant monkey guy like you can the other creatures in this game. He will hit back a lot.
That's it for you, pal. Next time, just give me the sword.
Hellboy, you don't know what the sword is. You don't know where Mitri is. You have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea what's going on here. You can walk inside the bookshelves. So, whatever came out of the monkey just there, that's clearly not a sword. It's probably important, but it's not a sword. And we're going to assume that was the head librarian because that only makes sense. I mean, he's the one who let us in here in the first place. So we could assume that the Green Man definitely is the Inquisitor, since he came in here, and he presumably warned the head librarian about us. It really baffles me why some of the lines don't have dialogue. I mean, I get the feeling all these voice actors were in-house voice actors. There's only one place left to go, and that would be that secret area the kid showed us, if that is indeed a secret area. The monks are still hanging around like absolutely nothing went wrong. Alright kid, after a long and strange journey, we're finally here to take you up on your offer. Now we're in some kind of underground catacomb with more very unfriendly monks with things popping out of their chest. Maybe this is where we'll finally meet Mitri, because we have not seen him at all, and we were supposed to meet him and grab that amulet. It seems like, regardless of what video game, what universe we are in, nobody ever wants to explain to Hellboy what is going on at any point. At least Mitri talked to us, but if Hellboy's previous luck is any indication, we're probably not going to be seeing him again very soon, if at all, ever. You know, to get our mind off all this stress, let's just let Hellboy play us something nice. I mean, there's an organ right here. Oops. Well done, Hellboy. Now we're in a tomb of some sort. Let's really, really hope that's not Mitri lying dead in the casket right there. Alright, so we have a few items left over from our journey. There's this cross right here. After I stop fumbling around with whatever I'm doing. The cross goes on the coffin, obviously. That's where crosses go. They don't normally make that noise. And although it's the dirtiest looking shield I've ever seen, we're going to use it to reflect this light. Again, the light effects in this game are not fantastic. I love invisible coffin lids.
You're not the knight I was expecting.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm here to find Mitri's amulet.
Mitri has paid a terrible price for his service and can no longer assist you. He succeeded in closing the portal, but the No-Hux Canis scarred his body. Here is the sword. Use it in righteousness.
So now we have that sword we just learned about, what, a few hours ago in Hellboy's time? I'm not sure Hellboy is holding it right. It does not look like he is.
I am the Inquisitor. You are not welcome here.
Sorry, just passing through.
The sword! Return it to me! You shall die.
Jeez, it figures. Nothing is ever easy.
So, in the PC version, the Inquisitor then turns into a giant serpent. I believe flames shoot out of the floor, spikes come out of the walls, and there's this huge boss fight. Not in the PlayStation version. It's just gone. The Inquisitor just disappears for some reason. Even though on the back of the case, the boss fight is still shown. Yeah. But now we have a sword, so let's try and take our mind off of that nonsense. Oh. Yeah, that sure is how you use a sword, Hellboy. That sure is how swords are used. What's worse still is that it's harder to aim the sword than Hellboy's fists, and the sword does not do any more damage than the fists. So it's pretty much completely useless. Look at that hit detection. So in the PC version, that was actually a pretty decent boss fight. I don't own the PC version, but it looked pretty fun to me. So let's just pretend that that happened. Let's pretend that there was this really awesome boss fight, and it was really cool, and we had a great time, and it was super dramatic. So now what do we do? Well, obviously, we need to go into that one door that was locked earlier that is for some reason unlocked now. That door takes us back to the ranch. I just wanted to show that so that way you weren't confused about where that door came from and where it led to. But we're gonna skip the hub again. Alright, so now we can head into the chapel. I believe there were living statues to fight that also got cut. I believe there were living statues to fight in here. And when we go inside the chapel... So there was originally a huge switch puzzle in here to get an elevator working. But, it's not here in the PlayStation version. What a surprise, it's gone. Instead, there's just the already functioning elevator waiting for us. Very silent elevator. You remember this guy. Well, now it's time to take him down. It's time to take him down. We have our sword ready to take him down. We got this. We got this. We're not hitting him, it appears, but we got this. And I'm stun locked. Don't worry, we'll get out of this. We'll get out of this. We'll be okay. I have health right here. We're stun locked, but we'll be okay. We'll get out of this situation, and Hellboy will be perfectly fine.